people come in who don't have the book yet. Am I right? Does everybody have a copy of this? It's free. If you don't, raise your hand. You get a free copy. Yeah, I'd like some. Please take it. It is such a great book. We've been working with it all summer long. E Squared by Pam Grout. 9 do-it-yourself energy experiments that will help prove the overall concept of my thoughts create my reality, as well as looking at several other truth principles. So this is the 7th week. When I began back in July, I said this is a 7-week summer sermon series. And if you were here with us a few weeks ago, I said it is now transformed into a sermon series saga, because I can't finish in 7 weeks. You know, I thought I could cram a couple experiments, at least 2 weeks, do 2 experiments each, but I didn't, once I really got into the material, I didn't want to do that. I wanted us to have the time to fully explore each experiment as we went along, one at a time. So because of that, we're not ending today. We're going to be reviewing experiment number 6 and introducing experiment number 7. So this summer series is going into September. Enough S's for you? Summer sermon series saga has now gone to September. I never know. I try to plan ahead. You know, it's not easy for my music director and different people to work with me because I'm always saying, guess what? We're doing something different. But they hang in there. The other thing I didn't tell you is that because I thought we were going to be wrapping up the series today, I went ahead and I already booked a couple of guest speakers for the next 2 weeks that I'm very excited about. So we're going to actually have a break from the series. We're going to pick it back up on Sunday, September 15th, and go from there. And I think in a way that's going to be a good thing because it'll give a chance for those of you who have fallen a little behind this summer to catch up, right? If you haven't been able to do all 6 experiments yet, and then 7 going into this week. And it also will give folks a chance to revisit some of the experiments that may not have worked out so well. And I can relate to that this week with experiment number 6, the superhero principle, which was about thoughts and consciousness impacting our world, impacting matter. I had a little bit of a challenge with that, which I'm going to get more into in a minute. But I just want to mention that next Sunday, we are blessed to have a woman named Elaine Silver coming. She is a singer-songwriter. I'll put her website up in the email and on Facebook and Twitter so you can just see what an incredible person this is. She's going to be doing a music-themed service. I used to have her come when I was down in New Jersey all the time. We're really in for an incredible treat. And then on September 8th, we have an excellent speaker that I already know you all know him, Christopher Hogan, who will be talking about the transformational power of belief and kicking off an incredible program that I mentioned earlier in announcements, the Unstoppable You. So these 2 weeks that are coming up are just too good to push out into the future. So we're going to have Chris and Elaine come in and bless us, and then we'll come back to the series. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right? All right. So now that I've laid that out, today I want to focus on reviewing experiment number 6, the superhero principle, and introducing experiment number 7, which is the Jenny Craig principle, my favorite. But no, it actually is going to be my favorite. I was so excited to see that. But like I said earlier, I had a challenge with the superhero principle. And this principle, you know how every week I've been relating the principles to our core beliefs of unity? This one really relates to core belief number 5, which is the practical application of the truth principles. It's walking the talk. It's making it happen in matter. And so I'm usually pretty good at that, but one thing that you might not know about me, I do not have a green thumb. Never had a green thumb. If anybody knows me, if you give me a plant, it's guaranteed to die. Okay, so, I'm really excited about this. All right, I have to grow something. This will be interesting. But, for you, maybe you had challenges with some of the other principles. Maybe the first principle, the Dudes Abide principle, which was proving God exists. Anybody have any hiccups with that? What about the Volkswagen Jetta principle? That you'll see what you're looking for in the universe. It'll appear, whether it's yellow butterflies or purple feathers or green cars. Remember that one? Or the Albert Einstein principle. I heard some people couldn't get those wands to move, even though we were proving that we are beings of energy. Just like that field of potentiality, that is what we consist of. That's what we're made of, right? And the fourth principle, which one was that? Was that abracadabra? Abracadabra. Were you able to manifest that in which you focused on in 48 hours? Somebody said, I'm still waiting for those front row seats to some sports game, right? Did it happen, or are you feeling challenged? Then there was the fifth principle, the Dear Abby principle, which was turning within to your inner guidance and getting direction on a specific yes or no question. And then now the green bean. Experiment number 6, the superhero principle. So I'm going to start with my lab report, even though I'm a little embarrassed. Oh, let me set the premise for some of you. Some of you haven't even been here all summer, right? You're like, what are they doing in this church? Well, last week we all got our egg cartons, and we were supposed to put 2 green bean seeds in each slot and fill in the potting soil. And then we were to every single day set the intention that our innate energy would will the green beans on the left side of the carton to grow faster than the green bean seeds on the right side of the carton. That was the experiment. Do you see it now? So this is my lab report. Day 1, Sunday, August 18th, I planted the seeds, watered them, and put the egg carton on the windowsill of my kitchen window and set the intention. Day 2, no change. Set the intention again. Day 3, watered them again. 1 seed popped up on the left side of the carton. I pushed the seed back down into the soil and set the intention one more time. Now this is funny because later on I saw somebody posted their picture on my wall of Facebook, and all their seeds had popped up and sprouted. I said, oh, is that how it's supposed to work? So I'm pushing the seeds back up. That's what I'm doing.
She doesn't have to.
And then
Pushed all the babies down.
push the seed back down. They tried so hard. Day 4, notice that the kitchen window does not get much light. Move the egg carton to a sunnier window still in the house. I thought I saw 2 small sprouts beginning to show on the left side of the carton. Got excited, posted it on Facebook, and then set my intention. Watered them again, saw a seed sticking out on the right side, pushed it back into the soil. Day 5.
Tell you something.
Day 5, no progress. Now get a load of this. Previous sighting of sprouts was a false alarm. Not sprouts after all. When I looked closer, they were just like little bright grains. Moved egg carton into a greenhouse window. We have greenhouse windows in my house. Why didn't I do that to begin with? Set the intention again. And decided I must be over-watering them, so I decided I won't water them again for 24 hours. Totally dry out dirt, right? Day 6, Arlene calls me. This is Friday morning. On the telephone, I tell her of my dismal progress. She asked me if I'm watering the seeds enough. I explained I've been doing what the book told me to do every couple of days, even though the dirt is drying out in between. She goes, no, they have to be moist all the time, watered all the time when they're sprouting. Oh. So I watered them again. By the end of the day, I finally see some sprouts for the first time. For real. This time I said, and there are more on the left than on the right. Set the intention once again. Day number 7, watered the night before and again in the morning, set the intention. Egg carton is still in the greenhouse window. And I'm seeing more sprouts on both sides of the carton. Struggling to get through the surface, so I set the intention one more time. And then day number 8, this morning, counted sprouts on 5 slots on the left, 5 slots on the right. All the sprouts are tiny except for one slot. The closest to me on the left has a ton of them. Overall, though, not a resounding success, I write. Plan to keep at it for another week. That's my report. So, I'm going to have Michael go around and get some other lab reports because I know there's some good ones out there. I've been seeing it. Patty, you got to go back to Patty. She's so excited. And then we'll come to you, Lisa.
Okay.
Well, BJ, I did the same thing you did, kept pushing the seeds down in because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. Because they were popping up because I never grew anything in my life. And I too had kind of a not so green thumb, but I have a plant previous to this that was given to me that was smaller, and I put a crystal in it. So that's been helping it. But I'm restoring with the plants that I wrote. I watered them every day, and I noticed the second day, the day that I watered, that I planted them, and then the next morning, there was a little white thing, two of them coming up. They were growing, and I said, okay. But I was talking to it, send it all my love, and tell it that you're going to grow more on the left side than the right side. And I noticed that the other side was listening to what I was saying, so they were both growing. And I said, oh, how am I going to do this? So I cut the cotton in half, and I put one, the left side, in the window, where the morning sun was coming in. And the other one I left on my bureau, not realizing that that's my altar where the crystals are. So that one grew better than the one in the window. And I got to show you.
Yeah, sure would tell. I was too embarrassed to bring mine. Really pathetic. Wow!
The left side. This is the left side. I don't know if you can see it.
Wow, you did good.
And then,
No, I have nothing like that.
Now, did you just plant those last Sunday?
yeah. And this one. This is the one that was on my altar.
On your altar?
And I didn't say anything to this one. This one grew this much since
Yeah.
last night. This much.
Oh, that is so
This was
exciting.
lower.
I can't even,
So-
I'm so glad I didn't bring mine. Mine aren't even above the dirt yet. I mean, they're like kind of on the dirt.
If you put it on an altar, it's going to grow. You don't have to tell it anything. I didn't tell it anything.
Yeah.
And it grew.
Well, it was in that environment, yeah. Thank you.
That's it.
Somebody get a picture of those sprouts. Lisa's up here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I just want to talk about my experiment a little bit. I started off, I wasn't here at the end of the day on Sunday, so someone planted for me, and I was able to retrieve my carton and everything on Monday. And I put them in just the right spot, I thought, and so forth. And I went over to it, and I was talking to the beans on the left, and I just felt so badly for the beans on the right.
What's hard?
It was so hard.
I agree.
By Thursday, I had to quit. I couldn't do it anymore. I felt like I just couldn't love one more than the other. Because they're all God's beings.
I know. All those beans.
So that was
Beans, get it?
So anyway, that experiment wasn't as
Well, the reason I could get around that aspect of it is that she had to grow faster than the others. I would have had problems if it was like, these grow and those don't. Or
Well, I was giving the ones on the left more love and attention. And I just felt like I couldn't do it.
I know. I couldn't do it even with the love prayer. Lisa's right here, yeah.
Hi, thanks. Mine are pretty much growing at the same rate of speed. I'm not really having that much luck. But I know I'm probably not alone in that. But I did want to say one little trick is if you wrap it in saran wrap, it keeps the moisture in and they will grow faster.
You put it over it,
Yeah,
saran
you
over
put
it?
saran wrap over the top of it. When they start getting bigger, just pick the saran wrap up a little bit more. But it holds all the moisture in it and it allows the plant to grow.
Thank you. I'll
So
try
I just
that
wanted
this
to say
week.
that. That's all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a good gardening tip.
I need this. Jane.
Yes, I'm not having too good luck. But my beans are sprouting in the middle, and the others have nothing on it. But now when I talked with Mary at the bookstore earlier, we don't know what we're gonna do with the living little plants. Because fall and winter are coming, and are we gonna?
Well, eat the beans. Aren't they gonna come like this?
No.
Oh, they're not?
Well, that would be good.
What are we supposed to do with them then?
I don't know.
Really are now gardeners.
We don't want to kill living things, so we're going to ask for an answer.
Well, let's brainstorm. What do people think we should do with the bean sprouts?
Eat them.
Oh,
Oh, eat the
Just the
sprouts.
sprouts.
you can eat the sprouts. There we go. We
Too
have-
too late for them to be a big bean plant. Right.
Eat them. And that's going to really tie into our next chapter, where we can eat them with love and transform their energy into good things.
Thank you, Maria.
Oh, here we go.
Well, mine are kind of little yet. I didn't start watering them until Tuesday morning. I had a really long day on Monday and didn't really start. So they're just about right for where they should be for starting on Tuesday.
Oh, I feel better.
And I also had to put them outside, and it's a little chilly at night for sprouts, but they did okay. They did all right. Just maybe slow them down a little bit. Because I have a beautiful black Siamese cat who loves plants and soil and flowers and things like that. So lots of my stuff has to either go in a high place or I have a wonderful sunny window, but you can't put plants there. He's so they look really good, and they're pretty much, they're kind of even right now, but I think when they fully like sprout, these are bigger, yeah. And
The left
that
side.
was my left side.
Yeah.
They are bigger, yeah.
Good, excellent.
Oh yeah, we're not clapping for the reports that you get every week.
Anybody else? Yes. Stacy.
Hi. So I'm just like you. I have no clue, but I sang to them, and I just made up these silly little bean songs. And mine came up too. I think.
I noticed when you posted the picture that all your beans were above the soil. I
Right.
said, that's what you're supposed to do, obviously.
I thought it was my singing. But they were all doing the same thing, and then so I started putting my hand between them, and I sing this really melodic song to one side, and then I had the same issue as you. I didn't want to discourage, but I was like, you don't have to grow as fast. So I kind of made it like a more,
Slow down.
Yes. So and the more melodic side grew a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll take a picture today and post it.
Cool.
It's very.
Great.
Hi, so.
I put it on my wall. You can put it on the church, wall too. Then everybody can see it. Yeah, great. Anybody else? I have, yes. We got Rachel and then Sue. Sue and then Rachel.
Well, actually, I didn't do the bean sprout one because I too had issues with, planting them. I says I have no place to put them once they grow. So I says that's the wait till spring. But I did get my abracadabra thing. I had the deadline for the 27th, and I got an anonymous gift from somebody here. And I just want to say thank you. You made my prayers come true. I'm going to hold you in my prayers, whoever you are. I'm truly grateful.
Remind us what that was, because you were telling me back in the office. What was it that you had asked for, and what did you
I
get?
had asked for $100. I says,
Okay.
because I have to take a trip, and I also signed up for the 3 classes. And I says, I don't know, I'm going to pay for anything, so this was just, like I said, this is the most wonderful thing, and I'm getting emotional, so I had to cut it short.
I want to remind, you're a disciple, yes. I want to remind the Unity Disciples, we have a disciple fund, okay, to help pay.
When it should go for the building fund or for?
No, disciple fund, it can never be used for the building, never can be used for the building. It's for you guys, to pay for your classes, if you need help, okay?
I
I just have a quick note. I don't know how this happened, but I came back from my vacation, and I did not do this experiment, but I came back from my vacation, and I said, you know what, I planted green beans, and I betcha that on the left side of that garden, the green beans will be there, and on the right side there won't be. And when I faced the garden, when I come down the hill and I'm facing the garden, I looked in there, and sure enough, I know this sounds really weird, spooky almost, but on the left side, there were so many of these big green beans, but on the right side, there were only like 5 or 6. And I was like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't get it, but is it possible there's no space and time with God?
That's right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
It is. Space and time is in the 3rd dimension only, created by us. Anybody else? Oh, see, I could just keep going. I love these reports. Anybody else? We're all right with time.
I could go.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll like this story.
Uh-oh.
I didn't plant, but I had 3 potted plants that somebody gave me, and like Reverend BJ, I'm not into gardening. If you want to give me flowers, give me cut ones, so I don't have to do nothing. So anyways, this was back in May when I got the book. I had 2 on the top of a shelf, 1 on the bottom. So I said, okay, I'm not going to water them at all, but I'm going to send the bottom one love, and the other 2 I'm going to totally ignore. And in 7 days, the one on the bottom was flowers, and the flowers were so overflowing you couldn't see the pot. Yeah. And the others were not really good.
So see, you know, those of us who aren't gardeners, we've learned how we can be.
Yes.
You know, how we can be through thoughts and words and singing and love and just really directing that. Too much work.
Too much fun.
Yeah. But I'm glad to know this because I feel much more confident with plants now. And water them, right, Arlene? Water them.
I would like to know that I was at Lois's house on Wednesday and I watered her flowers.
So this is really one, thank you, Mike. This is really a great experiment for proving core belief number 5 that we really need to take this into our manifest world. And so I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to keep working at it because this is so important for our confidence in our ability that through our thoughts, that law of mind action, we can produce after their kind. That with the power of our thoughts, we can manifest in matter, in the physical world, and see changes taking place. So exciting stuff. This week, we're moving into experiment number 7, the Jenny Craig principle. Your thoughts and consciousness provide the scaffolding of your physical body. So of course I look at this, I'm like, oh, you guys know how I like preaching about the physical. Jeanette, you want to come up here and do this? You know, because I really feel you have to be a master at something before you preach it. But I can't help it, it's experiment number 7, we're diving into it. Now just like you guys, I am not reading ahead. I am taking this at the same pace that you guys are. So I hadn't read ahead on this experiment, and I was so amazed when I read the chapter because I was like, no wonder I had difficulty during experiment number 5. If you remember when I gave my lab report on experiment number 5, one of the questions I had tried with Dear Abby, the Dear Abby principle, my yes or no question, was trying to sort out what diet I should try to go on. Again, remember, be sharing about that. You know, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. Lost weight, gain weight, lost weight, gain weight. I couldn't even formulate a yes or no question, so I gave up and I moved on to another question, remember? Well, I read this chapter and I said, this is the answer. You know, I'm not supposed to go on a diet. I love how she said, you know, anything with the word die in it, stay away. You know, this is what I'm supposed to do. So this is like just designed for me. I know that it's probably designed for some of you. I'm very, very excited about it. So where am I? So the whole premise of this experiment is that the energy provided by your food is affected by what you say and what you think. In addition, What you think and say about yourself and your body and your food will determine your current state of health. So keep alert, even if you don't have a weight issue, even if you have no desire to lose any weight. This experiment promises to increase your health and your vitality as well. Because I know that there are some of us in this congregation that actually need to gain weight. It's true. So don't, just because it's called the Jenny Craig principle, know that this is more than releasing weight or even gaining weight. It's about bringing us into a perfect state of health and well-being. Does that sound like it's worth doing the experiment for all of us? So I want to look at some evidence for this. One of the things that Pat says is our body is the barometer of our belief system. I said, oh God. So let's turn to page 124 and 125 to read some good news. So this is halfway down the page. It's so hot in here. Is it me? Is the air on? It's cold. You guys are cold. Okay. So you can tell I love talking about this subject because I'm sweating. So when Alan Finger, a now famous yoga teacher, was in his teens, he lost 100 pounds in, are you sitting down? What does it say?
1 month.
1 month. Wow. After studying in India, his father, Manny Finger, brought back a powerful yogic, did I say that right, Alan?
Yes, yeah.
Yogic breathing program that he taught to his overweight son. Now, I remember one fall at an Eastern Regional Conference, a bunch of us went and we learned this really powerful breathing technique. Remember that? I want to revisit that. So anyway, within 1 month of using the breathing exercises, a powerful tool for moving energy, Alan dropped 100 pounds. I know what you're thinking, that's impossible. It can't be done. How many are thinking that? So let me stop you right there, Pam says. Thoughts like that, thoughts that scoff at infinite possibility, are getting in your way. Haven't we been studying this whole summer the field of infinite possibilities?
Yeah.
So she says to change your energy, you have to change your thinking. The word impossible should not be a part of your vocabulary. Willing to let it go?
Oh, wow.
A friend of mine had been trying to lose weight for probably 30 years. She tried everything, including exercise and consuming tiny amounts of food. Nothing worked. She finally consulted with an emotional freedom technique specialist, even though she had trouble believing that something as simple as tapping on the body's meridian points. Anybody ever done that?
Yeah.
One of my care partners is so into it.
Yeah.
She has me tap and, okay, on the phone, and I'll be like, but anyway, now I'm gonna get more serious about it. That's Patty, her name is Patricia Galino Lansky. She's the co-minister at the Unity Church in Charlottesville, Virginia, a church about 3 times the size of our church. And they built their church, a multi-million-dollar facility. So I need to pay attention to her, don't I?
Yeah, if she knew you were tapping that way, she would not be a happy camper.
She's so healthy. So anyway, so this woman went to the emotional freedom technique specialist, even though she had trouble believing that something as simple as tapping could actually be effective at winning the weight battle she'd fought for so many years. But she was desperate. Within a month of unblocking her stuck energy, she lost every one of those stubborn pounds. She has been able to keep off that weight and still looks fabulous today. As for Alan Finger losing 100 pounds in 1 measly month, you can read about it in Breathing Space, a book he wrote with fellow yoga teacher Katrina Repka. What do you have to lose by believing it's possible? Think about that.
Just your
What do we have to lose by believing it's possible?
A whole nother
I want to read this too because this not only affects me, but it affects a lot of you guys in this congregation tonight. This is another remarkable story. Lipton tells a remarkable story about a group of patients with problematic knees. The first group underwent complicated knee surgery. The second group believed that they too had had the surgery. But the doctor conducting the research made the incisions on the second group, but didn't actually operate. You getting this?
Oh.
So nothing about their knees was changed. Both groups, however, got better. Both groups were soon able to walk and play basketball and do all the things they had done before their knee injuries. Now that's a pretty strong placebo effect and should be proof positive that you need to see yourself as thin and gorgeous, negative thinking be.
Damn.
Thank you. I didn't want to have to say that on the mic as the minister. I don't know what the word is. Read your book. Get it? So, does this sound like something that has a piqued your interest? It's a big wake-up call for me. It's not like I've never heard this, but you know, we forget, right? We forget. The same way we've been sending loving energy to our bean seeds, we have to send loving energy to our bodies and to our food. So let's read about the method. It's on page 126. In this experiment, you're going to give up your ongoing grudge against the food you eat. You're going to think of every single morsel that enters your body as your best friend, or at least a thoroughly nourishing acquaintance. Okay? I'm not going to read every word in this. So for starters in this experiment, you're going to refrain from saying anything negative about your body. You may notice this is hard to do, right? Food is full of energetic juju, and eating should be a thoroughly positive experience. We've gotten so far off track on this that this experiment could be the very hardest for most people to undertake. Because feeling guilt about food is such an ingrained habit, this might feel completely unnatural. It might take some practice. You might even have to repeat this experiment if you notice that the old pattern's creeping back in. If you find yourself wondering how many calories or fat grams you're about to consume, that's when you need to repeat it. That's why this experiment takes 72 hours. First one is going to be 3 days rather than the 48 hours of most of the other experiments. What we're looking to prove is that your thoughts and energy, listen to this, this is what are we looking to prove in this? It's that your thoughts and energy are in a continual dance with the world around you. Remember when people used to pray before meals? We didn't do that in our house, did we, Mommy? We didn't pray over our food. Though she did talk to the bees, she would talk to the peas in the garden. Mom was a great gardener, nothing like me. And she'd come in and say, the peas talked to me today. So anyway, so remember when people pray. My family always did, Pam said, even at restaurants, which embarrassed me to no end when I was in junior high. Now I know those prayers put positive energy and good thoughts into the food. Not that we were conscious of it at the time, but I must tell you that nobody in my family has ever had much of a weight problem. Think about it. So during this experiment, you're going to do the following. Number one, she has it numbered out. Refrain from talking smack about your body. If possible, refrain from negativity of any kind. Can you do it for 3 days? Remember the purple bracelets? We had to do it for 21. This is easier, 3. 2, before you put anything into your body, send it loving thoughts. Put your hands over it and give it a blessing. And number 3, concentrate on infusing your food with love, joy, and peace. That's it. Weigh yourself the day you start, and again 3 days later. Now the thing that I think is so great about the fact that we're having this break, I like this a lot, because you could choose to do this for 3 weeks. 21 days, you know, research has shown if you do anything for 21 days, it gets established as a new pattern in your life. It's fine if you can only do it for 3 days, but why wouldn't you want to do this for 21 days and for the rest of your life? So exactly 21 days from now is September 15th when we'll be coming back and reporting our results. So I am looking forward to you looking great and feeling great and having great success with the Jenny Craig principle. A Jenny Craig principle that isn't about restricting your calories. One of the things she says in this is eat whatever you want, breathe. but love it. Bless it. See the truth about it and see the truth about yourself. And see if indeed your body doesn't come back into perfect alignment. So we can get that process started by standing and singing the song, the healing song that is directed towards our body, every little cell of our body.